The gymnasium aboard the Galactic Coalition training station Nexus Prime fell silent as Ana Torres hit the reinforced combat mat with a bone-jarring thud. The sound echoed through the cavernous space, causing several alien cadets to wince and turn their attention from their own sparring matches. Drill Sergeant Vextar, a towering Krillian warrior standing nearly 3 meters tall with chitinous armor plating and 4 muscular arms, loomed over the human female. His mandibles clicked with satisfaction as bioluminescent patterns of dominance flickered across his carapace. The other recruits, Zentaurians, hegemony representatives, and various coalition species watched with a mixture of fear and anticipation. Pathetic, Vextar's voice rumbled through his translation device, each word dripping with disdain. This is what Earth sends us? Soft-skinned weaklings who cannot even— Ana Torres rose to her feet. She didn't roll. She didn't push herself up gradually. She simply stood, as if gravity itself had reversed its grip on her. Her dark eyes never left Vextar's face, and she didn't so much as blink. A thin trickle of blood ran from the corner of her mouth, which she wiped away with the back of her hand. Again, she said simply. Helan Zhao, Ana's training partner and fellow human recruit, felt his heart skip a beat. He knew that look. He'd seen it before during their academy days on Earth, right before Ana had systematically dismantled 3 senior cadets who'd thought her gender made her an easy target. Vexitar's secondary arms flexed, his species equivalent of a sneer. The little human wants more punishment? Very well. He moved with surprising speed for his size, all 4 arms working in concert as he attempted to grab Ana in what the Krillians called a death spiral grip, a hold that had hospitalized dozens of coalition soldiers. Ana moved like liquid mercury. She flowed under Vextar's primary arms, stepped inside his guard, and did something that made every alien in the gymnasium question everything they thought they knew about human anatomy. In one fluid motion, she grabbed the drill sergeant's lowest left arm, planted her foot against his leg for leverage, and used his own momentum to send all 3 meters and 400 kilograms of armored Krillian warrior sailing through the air. Vextar crashed into the far wall with such force that the reinforced titanium steel composite cracked. Emergency lights flickered as the station's gravity dampeners struggled to compensate for the impact. The silence that followed was absolute. Ana stood in the center of the mat, breathing steadily, not even winded. She looked around at the stunned faces of her fellow recruits, some fearful, others awed, all of them suddenly seeing humans in an entirely different light. In human military academies, Ana said, her voice carrying clearly in the silence, we have a saying, the bigger they are, the harder they fall. She turned toward where Vextar was slowly extricating himself from the wall, his bioluminescent patterns now flickering with what could only be described as confusion and grudging respect. We also have another saying, she continued, walking toward the dazed drill sergeant. Get back up. Helen bit back a grin. Ana was showing off now, but she'd earned the right. The other human recruits in their unit had been taking a beating, literally and figuratively, since their arrival at the Coalition training facility. The alien recruits saw them as weak, slow, fragile. The instructors treated them like charity cases, beings to be protected rather than warriors to be forged. Ana extended her hand to Vexitar. For a moment, the drill sergeant stared at the offered assistance, his 4 eyes blinking in sequence. Then, with what might have been the first genuine laugh he'd produced in decades, he grasped her hand and allowed her to help him to his feet. Explain, Vextar demanded, though his tone had shifted from contemptuous to genuinely curious. Your species files indicate average physical capabilities, bone density, muscle fiber composition, reaction times, all within expected parameters, for a Class C sentient species. Yet you move like a Zentaurian shadow dancer and strike with the force of a hegemony battle mech. Ana's expression grew serious. That's because you're reading the wrong files, Sergeant. You're looking at our baseline statistics, what we are at rest, in comfort, when we feel safe. She gestured to Helen and the other human recruits, who had begun to gather around them. Humans don't operate at baseline when threatened. We're persistence hunters, Sergeant. Our ancestors chased mammoths across ice ages, fought predators with nothing but sharpened sticks, and survived extinction, events that wiped out species far more capable than us on paper. Anna's voice carried a weight that seemed to press against the very air around them. When a human decides something needs to be done, when we commit to a goal or a cause, we don't just fight. We become the fight. We don't just endure. We become endurance itself. Every human in this room has been holding back because we thought we were supposed to fit into your definition of what we should be. She looked around the gymnasium, meeting the eyes of every alien recruit present. We're not just another coalition species learning to work together. We're humans. And humans don't stay down. Vextar's mandibles clicked rapidly, the Krillian equivalent of deep thought. Around them, the other recruits began to murmur among themselves in a dozen different languages. But Helan could pick out certain universal concepts: reassessment, recalculation, respect. Tomorrow, Vextar announced, his voice carrying new authority. We begin advanced combat training. All species will be tested to their actual limits, not their assumed ones. His four eyes fixed on Anna. And Recruit Torres, you will assist in demonstrating human combat techniques to your fellow soldiers. Anna nodded once sharply. Yes, Sergeant. As the other recruits began to disperse, Helen approached his longtime friend. Think they'll start taking us seriously now? Anna smiled. Not the polite diplomatic smile she'd been wearing since their arrival at the station, but the fierce, predatory grin that her academy instructors had learned to both fear and respect. Helen, they haven't even begun to see what humans are capable of. In the days that followed, the reputation of humanity within the coalition would shift dramatically. Word spread through the training stations, the fleet academies, the diplomatic corps. The small, seemingly fragile species from the third planet of an unremarkable star system weren't just another member species learning to integrate. They were something else entirely. They were human,